Single search with the new Mammut Barryvox Element. Okay, so exactly the same case as the Barryvox Pulse, except you only have one button on this side and the other side's blanked off, but the same body shape. So I'll put it into search mode, which just requires 2 fingers. There we go. So it goes into search mode, and as you can see there, as it's not receiving a signal currently, it is showing the course search graphic. Okay, I'll just zoom out a bit so there's no interference. Okay, so now I'll do my standard search. This is pretty optimum. I've aligned the target transceiver so they're very nicely aligned, so I should get a really good performance out of the transmitter and transceiver. Okay, see, it's picked up a signal there. Let's zoom in a bit. We've got thinks there's one signal at seems to be about 50 meters, which I have to say is, I've paced this out a few times, is the most accurate distance reading I've yet come across. It's fluctuating a bit between 50 and 57, but it is actually bang on 50 meters from here. Okay, so at the moment the arrow is straight ahead. Okay, so I'll follow the arrow. I mean, much like the arrow has 5 positions, pretty much like a number of digital 3 antenna beacons these days. Okay, so I'm going forwards, the number's going down, so that's all fine. Okay, the numbers are starting to go up a bit there. 48. Okay, so the signal's pretty weak and intermittent, but now I've got 43 that way, a bit of reorientation. Now you notice the tone changing as I'm searching. So what's happening here, I'm going the right direction, I'll do it deliberately now. If I drift off course, I go from that double beep tone to this single long tone. So that's the transceiver telling me that it thinks I'm no longer heading in the optimum direction. It's really the same information as the light being, or the arrow in this case, being off center, but it's an audible prompt. And if I orientate my transceiver back round, okay, then go back to the double beep, which tells me that it thinks I'm heading in the correct direction. So I keep going towards the transceiver. Okay, the number's counting down, everything's good. I'll show you again. If I drift off course deliberately, straight away, you know, no, I want tone changes, get back on target. Another interesting little feature the Element has is if I turn 180 degrees down, round, so I lose the, and then like all transceivers, it's then like, okay, I'm back pointing in the right direction, but it can't tell which direction it's pointing. If I go away from the target and the number starts to go up, which, you know, should alert me to the fact I'm going the wrong way, after a few meters the Element will change its tone, and you see it's displaying a graphic suggesting that it thinks I should turn round. Should make it do it again. Okay, it wants me to turn around, it thinks I'm going the wrong direction. It doesn't come up continuously because I have to be moving and the number going up for that logic to work. Okay, so now I go back, I'm going to go into the target now. Okay, so the number's going down. It's all fine. Number's drifting slightly off to the right, correct that. Keep it in the middle. Okay, it's all heading good. So, below 10 meters, I have another audible tone change, and alerting me that I'm getting very close to my target and I should be slowing down. Now, with the new Element software, Mammut are proposing that you use the new runway approach. So below 10 meters, you gradually descend your transceiver onto the snow. So I'm already at waist height, and actually the good thing about this is that you can't walk quickly as you put your transceiver down onto the snow, so it forces you to slow down. So I'm just got my transceiver right down on the ground now. I'll show the display, 5 me. You know, if I drift off still, you know, there you go, it alerts me, no, going back that way. Okay, 3.8, and at 3 meters, I lose the directional information, okay? And all the transceiver wants me to do, it's change tone again, it's offering me to mark this transceiver, digitally mask it, which is obviously a bit early for that. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go straight forwards, transceiver right down on the ground, and get the lowest number that I can. Now, Mammut are suggesting from their research, okay, I've gone back up, so I've come back to 0.4. I'm just going to blank the noise off a bit. Now, Mammut are suggesting from their research, the next phase, which I would normally do, the bracketing, is where most time is lost and a lot of users become confused. So Mammut are suggesting that you might not want to do that if you're inexperienced. You just come forwards till you get the lowest number and you dig at that point. Or you don't dig, sorry. You then do an expanding probe spiral from this point until you locate your victim. Now, my victim is only there, you know, half a metre away. Obviously, this is an ideal situation. But what they're suggesting, and actually BCA transceiver works exactly the same way, is that the new transceivers are so accurate at getting you onto the target that you can dispense with the bracketing if you're not experienced with it, and you might be quicker just to probe in an expanding spiral until you get the target. Okay, for me as an experienced searcher, I'm going to do something different. There are halfway up that line little left and right arrows, suggesting that if you know what to do, you can then bracket left and right to get this classic kind of lowest reading in both planes, both forward and backwards, and left and right. But actually, if you do lots of searches with the new 3 antenna digital beacons, you quickly realise that if you slow down below 10 metres, you always end up within 30-40 centimetres of directly above your target. You know, so you can see where the logic has come from, and it's mainly come from feedback from sort of avalanche training professionals. Okay, so that is, okay, one more thing, sorry. So now, if I wanted to, I can mark this transceiver. Okay, on the screen I've got, what's my rubbishy camera to, I've got one person with a tick next to it showing they're marked. That signal's disappeared, and I am now in core search mode again, trying to find a secondary signal. Okay, so that is a single burial search with the new Mammut Barryvox Element.